Okay, folks, how are you doing? It's Roe Castillo again with Tex, and that's T-E-X, textbook bass fishing. I figured I'd show you a quick knot. I'll say a quick knot, but it's all you old school fishermen, all you old timers, you should know this knot. You grew up tying it all the time. It came pre-tied in all the your leader rigs back in the day, especially Eagle Claw. They were I remember Eagle Claw doing a lot of them. But what it is I'm prepping one of my rigs here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take you through the actual setup here. So I have a 13 fishing reel. It's the Alpha series in a 7.5-to-1. Can't see that. It's got the internal wing in here, so you can set the brakes and it pops out just like that. It's got settings 1 through 6. I got it set on 4 because I guess what I was using this for was mainly for top water, so I didn't really need a whole lot of different type of deals here. And excuse me, I got George Strait calling me. Yeah, let me know if he calls you. No, that wasn't really George Strait, just saying, it's a joke. But it'd be cool if he did call me. Anyways, I like this reel a lot. I wish I'd use it more, which I'm trying to set it up more so I can use it. But so that's the reel, and then I got a Kistler 7-foot medium heavy. They call it the 4MH Power. It's made for sparse grass. As you can see, it's a Kistler rod. Real awesome. You know, you can actually got my name put on it. Didn't cost that much. That way folks know that if you got the same matching poles whoever you're fishing with, or maybe you just like to customize your stuff like the big boys do, then you know, that's the way to go. Like, hey, get your hands off my rod, son. Okay, it's got my name on it, means it's mine, don't touch it. All right, moving on. Anyways, so what I had rigged up here was got a 1/2 ounce sinker weight with a glass bead. I guess I just like the beads because it gives off a little more bling, and it also gives off a little bit extra noise, you know, like with the beads and the clackers. But I'm out of clackers, so the bead's gonna have to work. But you ain't here to worry about that. What you're here to do is watch this knot that I've been trying to show you for like the last few minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. This particular knot, it's called a Snell Knot. Snell Knot. So like I said, I had it rigged up because I was ready to go, but I thought about you guys, and I was gonna put that there. Get this out of the way here. I'll put it right there for now. So what I'm gonna use right now is, because I'm gonna flip and pitch mainly worms today. So I have a size 2, I believe, or 3 straight worm hook. This is a VMC. Very good hook. It works real great, and as you can see on the tip, it's got the I don't know what you call it. It's not just bent over. It's kind of like a polymer plastic that they melted on there. So if you had problems with your line getting twisted in there or coming out when you would make the knot, these VMC hooks, they're in the money, they do good, they got a great reputation, and they catch fish. Another real simple thing that I do from time to time, and as you can see, my damn, I guess I better WD-40 them things. But anyways, so they come a little bit bent down towards the hook. Not a problem with it, but I've noticed that if I take this hook with some pliers and just bend the hook out a little bit away, up and out, more or less in line with the line tie itself, or just up a little bit, it improves your catch rate and ratio, because the hook, it's going to penetrate straight or up when you set it. It's not going to pull out, because if you curl this thing down, I mean, you know, on the extreme side, if this thing curls all the way down, well, guess what? You ain't going to have nothing to penetrate that fish's mouth. So that's why I take it, bend it out just slightly, not a whole lot, but you're going to have to play with that to see where you like it. So what I do here, like I said, 17-pound shooter defier line on it. I know you can do a lot of things with it. It says it was designed in Japan by this feller called Morizo Shimizu. You know, reads in old Japan. I don't read Japan, but it's got the line size there down at the bottom. You can see it. The Snell Knot is I guess what we're doing here. Anywho, so you're going to want to take the line. I hope you can see this, get the right angle here, but take the line and run it through the front of the hook itself. So what you want it to look like is you want the hook business end to face towards the pole, the reel side. And then what you want to get you some line here, and enough later, and all you're going to do is just make a loop. So that's all you're doing, essentially just making a loop right there on the hook itself. Straightforward, nothing special. So you want to take the hand that you ain't going to be doing nothing with and just hold the loop itself right there, because you're going to come back to that here directly. With the tail end, you're going to want to, right there on the bend where it comes down before the line tie, you want to take tail end and wrap around the metal or the shaft itself. You're going to do this about 7 times. This is what I do. I do about 7 times. And you're going to want to push it down to the bottom. Nice and slow. 1, 2, and you want to stack them. Don't want to be on top of each other. When I say stack, I mean just like in line, just like a perfect little spiral. There's 3. There's 4. And if you mess up, don't worry about it. Just back off a little bit and start over again. So there's 2. 3. That's why I say keep a tight line on it, because it's going to unravel. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there's what you're going to look like. It's just going to be wrapped around, coiled in a spiral motion, going from the line tie out to the main line. So when that's done, get you a pinch on it so you can see the loop that you just made. And all you're going to do is just take this leader line, the tail end of it, and go back through the loop itself. So just pull that line through, and then on the other end you want to make sure that this loop is down on the bend itself. So hold this line and then just pull the main line, this one. So what you can do to make it slip a little better, just give it a little wetness action, and just pull the main line. As you can see, it's starting to tighten up, and just arrange it so it stays nice and pretty. All this is doing is that when you tighten it up, is that this line that you wrapped around, it's gonna more or less go back inside of all those loops that you just made. So there you go, that's it. And what you do is just after that, depending on what kind of length tail you want, leader, That's how much I usually cut off and leave it there. It's not really a big concern. It's nice and soft. It's going to be out of the way. The bass don't really care. Essentially, once you put your worm back on, it's going to push it out of the way. You see that? When you slip it on there and put it back here, it's just going to push it down out of the way. So it doesn't really matter there. So why do you say we tie this snell knot versus some other knots when you're heavy, when you're pitching to some cover or whatnot? So I got my bead. You see the bead there. Got my quarter ounce, excuse me, not quarter, I got a ½ ounce weight there. It's a little beat up, you know, I've been using it. You know, these ain't one-time use weights, you know, you use them again. So if you were to line tie this thing like normal, which would be right here at the very tip of the line tie on the hook itself, just like everything else that you tie, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, now I'm not going to put any weight on it, but I'm going to show you when I just release the hook what it does naturally. See how it naturally just wants to curl? And if you stop spinning, buddy, come on. And that's just that weight right there, just naturally releasing there and pushing the weight down. So when you set the hook on this particular snell knot with a little bit of weight, you can do a quarter ounce of weight, 8 ounce weight, it doesn't really matter, because when you set back and set the hook like this, the hook itself, it's gonna naturally want to curl up like that when you pull the line and set it like this. So that's what it's essentially going to do. And all that does is that's going to give you that extra reassurance that when you go back and set the hook, that main business end right here is going to curl up and hook into that fish's mouth, and make sure you got a gaff in there so as to not lose them. That's it. So make sure you tie a snell knot or whatever your knot that you feel more comfortable with. This is just the way that I've been doing it. Go ahead and try it out. It's not so bad. But like I said, it's going to sit there and want to curl up into everything that you do naturally. Fro Castillo, textbook bass fishing. Just fish it.